All right, I have 7 o'clock. We will call the town board meeting for December 2nd, 2024 to order. First item on the agenda is the agenda. Patrick, what do you got?
Mr. Chair, if pleases the board, please add under added agenda. Well, no, let's do it under open time or after open time. Add closed session, real estate.
Which means we will have open time before that, so, because we'll have to clear the room.
Yep.
Anything else?
The board will have some suggestions about pulling some consent agenda items, but that's a couple more steps down the.
All right, board have anything?
No.
Hearing none, I need a motion to approve the agenda as amended.
Move to approve the agenda as amended.
Second?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye. Before you
Opposed?
move on, just so that our audience understands, when we go into closed session, as the chair said, we do it so no one can be in the room. It's stuff that cannot be talked publicly. So we will have the open time and then we'll be done and we'll finish our part.
So we'll let you know.
Yeah. Just in case you're wondering, what is that? All right.
All right, moving on. Need a motion to approve payment of the bills.
I'll move to approve payment of the bills.
Second?
Motion made, second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right, item 4 is approval of prior meeting minutes from November 18th, 2024. Anybody having corrections?
I saw none. Move to approve the minutes of the November 18th, 2024 meeting.
Second?
All in favor, say aye.
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 All right, that motion passes. Item 5 is a consent agenda. We have 8 of them. I understand the board wants to pull a couple of them.
Yes, Mr. Chair, I'd like to pull item H, which is the 2025 liquor license renewals.
And I believe attorney wanted to pull G also.
That's correct, Chair.
All right, so I need a motion to approve the remaining 6 consent agenda items.
We would move to approve items A through F on the consent agenda.
I'll second that.
Motion made, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, then we will move on to item 5G. This is the cannabinoid product license renewals. Who's going to cover that?
Mr. Chair, the only reason to, that you should discuss this is you have to make 2 changes in the licenses. First of all, under the new cannabis statute, no license should be issued until the business is registered. And they need to provide their evidence that they've been registered with the state cannabis office before the license is renewed. Second thing is the license, the state will be issuing their own licenses for these products. And at that time, since the state will occupy the field, our licenses will become void as soon as the state issues the licenses. So the language of all licenses should state that the license will automatically terminate upon issuance of a state license to the individuals.
So can that be done by an addendum to this process?
Yes, it could be.
Would that be the cleanest way to do it?
That'd be the cleanest way to do it. Just adopt a resolution saying that these licenses are approved subject to the following conditions.
Okay.
The first being that no license will be issued until such time as they provide the town with the registration number. And second, that the license will contain language terminating it upon issuance of a state license.
So I would suggest, Chad, if you've got specific language along those lines, can you send that to staff?
Sure.
Before we respond to these folks? So
Not
we've
a
got
problem.
that. Okay.
Does that have to come back for,
No. Just make those 2 conditions part of the resolution, approving the licenses.
So Chad and I'll.
yeah, so
We'll
we
work
need a
it out.
motion to do that then,
Yep.
right? I
Yes.
make a motion to adopt the resolution that we just discussed with the language that the town attorney is going to provide to staff, clarifying the licensing process for all.
Second.
All right, and just one comment. We have 3, Bald Eagle Liquor, Cub Food, and Township Tobacco LLC. Do we have to legally inform them of these changes? They should know, or do we have to inform?
Well, they should know about the registration number, but it would be wise to inform them of that as soon as possible.
We will,
And that would come from staff?
yes.
So with that addition, I'll amend my motion to include staff to notify them immediately.
I'll second that.
All right, motion made, second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right, moving on. H is the liquor license renewals. Steve, you had a?
Yes, I wanted those pulled because I found discrepancies on both the Bald Eagle Liquor and the Orchid, and I will cover those, and staff can probably straighten this out. The first one is Bald Eagle Investments LLC, DBA Bald Eagle Liquor. The certificate that is before us has dates on it of January 1st, 2024 to January 1st, 2025, which does not meet the requirements for 2025 liquor. We need to have a current cert.
So it should read January 1, 2025 to January 1, 2026.
Yeah, somehow we just got the wrong one, either in the packet or they did not provide it.
Okay.
But I think it can easily be corrected.
We can
without
correct
having to
that.
bring it back here. The Orchid is a different situation. When I was looking at the liquor liability, it's a typo on their certificate of insurance for liquor liability. It says the effective dates are 9/1 of 2024 to 9/1 of 2024. But all the rest of their coverages that are listed out here as required are 9/1/2024 to 9/1/2025. So I think it was just a simple typo, but it needs to be cleared up before we issue that.
We don't change these when we issue
We
them to
don't.
you guys, no.
No. They have to provide.
Yes.
They have to fix it.
Okay.
Plus, they should remove the name of Patty on the certificate holder.
Oh, yeah.
They got Riley Ramirez on there, which has a different name also. That doesn't even need to be on there, I wouldn't think, unless,
I think that's just been practice over the
yeah.
years.
But they might as well clean it all up at the same time, just to wipe their township and our address.
Can we pass this subject to those?
Subject on condition, yeah.
Okay.
Those changes.
So I would move to approve both of these, subject to those changes for the certificates of insurance.
I'll second that.
All right, again, though, I still have a question because these are time sensitive, which means if this isn't corrected and taken care of as of January 1st, they no longer have a license.
We'll take care of it tomorrow or the next day.
Okay. All right, motion's made and second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right, moving on. 6A, this is the resolution for street improvements, 23-2. Who's going to cover that?
We're just a couple of, actually, just one. Just needed to reflect the payable tax year to 2025. That was not on the original copy. We got the blessing from the attorney that that's okay, or Riley did, so we're just looking to clean that up.
So this was just a
Clerical.
clerical correction?
Yep.
So I'll make a motion to adopt the revised resolution to correct the clerical error to reflect the payable tax year as 2025.
I'll second that.
All right, motion made and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, item 7, public hearings. We have none, so we'll move on to item 8. This is new business, Otter Lake Road and Stillwater Street safety concerns.
Yes, so this came as a recommendation from the Public Safety Commission, from a couple of residents that visited us a couple months ago. They are looking, or the commission is recommending to the Township Board that staff put together a memo to Ramsey County requesting that this be evaluated and have a 3-way stop at that intersection, citing safety concerns.
Stop sign or stop light?
Lights, I'm sorry, did I say sign? Stop lights.
Pedestrian crossing.
Yep, that's all. So
Who was this forwarded to in Ramsey County?
it hasn't been yet.
Oh,
Yeah, we're
okay,
looking,
who will it be forwarded to?
probably highway, I would think, right?
Yeah, I would think so, highway engineer.
So our staff is happy to put together that request officially to Ramsey County. We're just looking for a blessing from the board as backing.
Is this another one where they're gonna want traffic studies before they even think about this?
Probably. That seems to fit the pattern, yes.
And who pays for those?
It's a good question.
Because I know they're not cheap.
I can't remember, are there markings even on the pavement crossing there?
I don't think so.
The reason I ask that is because in the newly reconstructed area from 4th Street to 96, they marked all the interchanges with at least white crossing marks indicating it is a crosswalk area. And at the very least, I'm not trying to give them that option at this point, but I think that when we get past this, if they say no,
Yeah.
they should at least do that.
And we compromise. I think what we do is we shoot for the top and see what we can get.
Just 1 sec. When Tamarack Nature Center was being in the second phase, we had asked for that same situation up, I believe, at Lorraine, that they mark that because it is a racetrack through there. At least showing people that people cross there, and they do. They cross a lot at Stillwater, and they cross a lot. I think it is Lorraine, isn't it?
That is marked though. There is.
Is there one at
white
Lorraine?
stripes there.
Okay,
But that's it. They don't have anything else.
yeah. So I'm all in favor of this.
All right, Board, any other questions on it?
No, I've got a question from the audience.
Recommended by the Public Safety Commission, so I'll make a motion to.
Hang on.
What we got?
We have somebody who wants to speak to this? If you want to come up, you got to state your name and address for the records there.
John Wozlowick, 5242 Lakeview Avenue in White Bear Township. I had also asked that request to our county commissioner, and the answers I got back about even putting a crosswalk at both Stillwater and Lorraine was it wasn't warranted.
It was what?
It wasn't warranted. In other words, we're not going to do it. I don't know what kind of study they did. They really didn't go into detail because we live off of that area too, and do walk up Lorraine to go to Tamarack, and you take your life in your own hands. And I was asking to put the signs to let people know it's a crosswalk, and to paint them, and they wouldn't do it. So
John, when did you guys do that?
that was probably last spring, not this year, but the year before,
Okay.
Maybe 2022 or 23?
23.
23, okay.
So
Well, what we found with Ramsey County, you have to be very persistent.
yeah,
What happens is for some reason they have a lot of turnover. It seems like the minute you talk to someone about something, they move on and the ball gets dropped. So at least we can come at them again with this to see if it's still on their radar or what at least the reasoning was. They can't say it's just not justified. They got to be able to give us some kind of reasoning.
reasoning for it. Yeah, to me, it was just that kind of thing. You may have a little more ability to talk to the right people and
Not really.
But they have,
hold your breath. Okay.
we have new county commissioners too, both for us and White Bear area. So
correct.
maybe they see a different vision than we
I
have.
would recommend that we not only send it to the Highway Department, we send it to the Ramsey County Sheriff's Office as well as our commissioner.
Yes.
That might be a good idea because it is when you see people come up with the young kids and stuff like that, and the people just blow by them, don't even acknowledge they're there. So
Well, I remember about 5-6 years ago, we had a resident move in right off Hennessy Vista in Arlick Road, and they were shocked at the 40-mile-an-hour speed. So they commissioned the county to do a speed test, and about all they did was put out the counters with the trip lines, and they just said, no, 40's fine, and that's all we heard.
yeah. Okay, very good. Thank you.
All right, thanks. All right, Tommy, did you go
Yeah, I
through
was
this?
starting a motion to, based on Public Safety Commission recommendation, request Ramsey County to consider installation of crossing lights at the intersection of Otter Lake Road and Stillwater.
All right, do I have a second?
I'll second that.
All right, motion made second. All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed?
Thanks.
All right, moving on. 8B, this is utility rate approval. This is 2025 utility rates.
Yes, this will be the 2025 rates. As you know, the Utility Commission has reviewed these. The Town Board reviewed them at their exec meeting last month. And we try to set our utility rates to cover operations and at least 75% of the depreciation. And projecting out, based on the last 5 years of water usage and our improvements that are needed, our water fund is short of funds in the future. So we are recommending that the base rate be increased from $43.50 a quarter to $45 a quarter, and then the tiered rates be increased 5 cents each to $2.60, $2.85, $3.85, and then $6.70. Likewise, the commercial rate would also be increased similarly. And then the irrigation rates, we are recommending that the commercial and the residential be the same and increase slightly. The sewer fund, on the other hand, is the opposite way. And so we're actually recommending that the rates be decreased from $38 a quarter to $36 a quarter, and then likewise on the commercial, a similar decrease from $34 to $32 a quarter on the base rate. And then finally, the stormwater rates. Again, the stormwater has a lot of improvements that need to be done. And so we're recommending that those rates be increased from $24.50 a quarter to $25 a quarter. And again, these would take effect in 2025 with the first quarter billing, which would be for January, February, March, and be billed the first part of April and due by the beginning of May. And with that, I'll take any questions.
Steve?
Well, I guess we discussed this kind of in depth at the exec meeting, so I don't really have any questions. I mean, I believe that they've studied this to the nth to try and keep it as reasonable and flat as possible, so I don't have any real questions.
All the increases were former Supervisor McCune's ideas. All the decreases were our new supervisor's ideas.
Wow.
That's a parting shot.
Oh,
Tom, you were probably in on the very end of this, weren't you?
This was, yeah. And reviewed by the Utilities Commission. So we're just trying to keep the system sustainable.
Well, obviously, it's not quite a wash, but by the time you decrease one and increase another, it's
Pretty close.
pretty close.
Yep.
All right, hearing no other questions, I need a motion on to approve the 2025 utility rates.
We, based on Utility Commission recommendation, approve the utility rates for 2025 as presented.
I'll second that motion.
All right, motion made and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right, that kind of concludes our regular agenda items. We're going to go to open time, which means if you want to speak to the board about anything, you need to come up to the podium, give your name and address, get a chance to get on camera, maybe get autographs. You never know. Hearing none, going once.
John Wadsworth, 5214 Lakeview Avenue. What the discussion that's been going on about changing our fire and EMS services, has that been finalized? Are we still in discussion on that? I'm kind of concerned about that.
Well, it's not that we're changing fire departments, we're in discussion on negotiating the contract. And it's still in contract negotiation.
Okay, so you're
In
still
fact,
negotiating.
I think maybe this is a good time for Chad. You want to bring us up to speed exactly where we're sitting?
Yes, well, I've had a conversation with the city attorney for White Bear Lake approximately 2 weeks ago, and he was going to talk to his client and get back to me, and I haven't heard from him since. I'll follow up with him. But it's not a question of are we going to cancel the contract. The question is just agreeing as to what fees are actually due.
Okay.
That's what it really is.
I know it has to do, my understanding of it has to do with the new fire station that was built and the safety improvements that were done and how they're paid for and who's paying for them.
Basically.
And,
It's a general idea.
okay.
but it's a little more complicated than that.
Well, I know there's back pieces that we probably in the public haven't heard. And so I guess that would be, as this goes forward, maybe we need to have more information on that, because I've talked to neighbors and friends, and when they've been hearing about this, reading a little blurbs in the Free Press and such, as to Lionel Lakes, that's not even close to us as far as service coverage and as far as response times, and it raises a concern for people, especially in their senior years, that may need that service and may need it in a hurry.
So I just caution what you read in the Wayfair Press.
Oh, I understand, but it's
No
not
offense to them,
close.
but they can be a little bit on one side of this issue, so.
But no, just the fact is, it affects a lot of people, and to, we need to get this one right, because if something happens and you do change and there's responses that are late and somebody dies, we don't want to be responsible for things like that.
No, we take this very seriously. That's why it's probably taken so long to get this ironed out, because it is something that we're not going to just jump into.
Keep your community up to date on this one.
We will. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, anyone else? Hearing none, I would ask that students, if you have something to sign, you want to come up, because we'll have to vacate the room when we go into closed session with our attorney. Any one of us three can sign off for you.
I got a pen, yep.
You bet. Aye.
There you go. You bet.
You bet.
Whoops. Excuse me. Yep. Make sure you go to class now and tell them how much you learned.
All right, have a great night.
Yep.
Last week,
Yeah, just to note, the reason we can go to, under statute, the town can go to closed session for issues involving safety, issues involving land sales, contract negotiations, issues involving personnel or litigation. This is for sale of property.
Well, that makes sense. Because that should be public info.
Yeah, yes, exactly. You're exactly right. You nailed it.
No, that's why I said that, this is what I had, this was my concern, that's why I was here tonight.
Oh, understand.
Thank you for that.
Yep.
We'll be back tomorrow night for the vote, so.
Okay, see you then.
Well, it's too bad more people don't do this and sign up for this, because a lot of people, I don't think they have a clue. It's December, everybody's
Yeah.
got holidays on their mind, and I don't think a lot of them have a clue this meeting happens.
You're right.
Usually you got 25 people here.
Well, and plus too, it makes us think we're doing a good job, though, in our budget meetings, nobody shows, because obviously, hopefully, we're doing the right thing for them, so.
I think you've done a good job. We've been in a community now for 20+ years. And, do we agree with everything? No, but it's pretty bad. I think one of the best changes you made, though, is you're no longer gonna have the vote on how your street's gonna be traded. You're going to a format, because when our neighborhood was redone, we wanted the concrete curbs and gutters, and there were some people that really weren't even our neighborhood that didn't want it.
Mm-hmm.
And somehow they were the majority. But the way you're doing that, that's a good thing.
Good to hear.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, John.
See you tomorrow night.
Okay.
Thank you.
Record us going into,
Right.
say you're going into statement.
Right now?
Yes, we should do that live.
I need a motion to go into closed session,
I'll move to go in
For the purpose of,
real estate, right?
real estate transactions.
I'll make a motion that we are going into closed session to discuss a real estate transaction.
Second.
All fair say aye?
Aye.
Aye. All right, I need a motion to come out of closed session with the attorney on real estate transaction.
I'll move to come out of closed session with the attorney where we discussed a real estate transaction.
Second.
All right, you want to just kind of synopsis this for us, Chad?
Sure. The board was discussing potential sale of the Stoddard property.
What's the address of that property? Do you remember?
Portland Avenue. I always forget, it's 5280 or something like that.
Stable, thanks.
We don't use that.
I think that's how it's listed.
All right, item 11, I need a motion to receive agenda material and supplements.
So moved.
Yep.
All in favor, say aye.
I
Aye.
I need a motion to adjourn at 7:39.
so moved.
Tremendous.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.